Everybody, so this is my latest and greatest virtual pinball build. So if you watch my channel, you know I built another like mini virtual pinball machine. I didn't like the way it came out, so I decided to sort of scrap that one. I salvaged what I could off of it, and I built this new model. I actually like the way it came out, a lot nicer. So I'll go in a little bit of details on the build. Basically the construction is mostly just plywood. It's 3/4 inch plywood. I use plywood because it's what I had just laying around. Other pieces that I had in here, I bought this stuff off Amazon for basically covering. It's kind of like a, I forget what it's called. It's like a melamine or something. It's more like a black like veneer that you get, basically you iron on to the wood. It's okay. It's not exactly very easy to work with. As I started using it more, I actually got a little bit better at it. Some other materials used in it. Both the covering here for the back glass and then the play field is just a piece of like plexiglass type, Lexan type sheet. And then the bezels that are inside here and then inside the play field area, I just made that out of some material that I had laying around here from my model railroad. It's like a foam board, and then I just painted it with acrylic black paint. Some of the edges I touched up with acrylic black paint, you know, just to make everything look like nice and seamless. Basically, the way I have this designed is one of the problems I had with the first design was if I had to do anything on the machine, it was really difficult to access anything. This is actually, I designed this to be very easily accessible. So the whole front here, where the controls are, this actually opens up, and as you can see, I have access to all the button controls and everything else, and I got access to the little control board. So if I wanted to add or change or have to replace something, it's easy to access. The playfield area here, basically this piece of plexi just pops right off. Surprisingly, I was actually planning on holding it down with something, but I found out it actually holds itself. So then I have the little bezel here, and it pulls off, and voila, there's pretty much it. That's the whole guts of this mini virtual pin. So basically the computer and the playfield display is all this 2-in-1 laptop. So it's actually a pretty cool little Lenovo laptop. The screen kind of twists around and it folds back, and you can use it like a tablet. And it's surprisingly powerful enough that I can play pretty much any of the FX3, 2 or 3 tables, and I can play a lot of Visual Pinball, Visual Pinball X and Visual Pinball 9 tables. I cannot get Future Pinball to play at all. Every time I try playing it, it just it starts up, the program starts, and then it crashes. I might try and mess with it a little bit, but I'm not that worried about it. There's not that many Future Pinball tables that I really care about. Oops, of course I gotta put this on the right way. So it just, like I said, it just kind of like lays there, and it doesn't really move. Now to get into the back glass here, this whole back panel actually just pops right off. So I made that kind of real nice. It's just held in with magnets. And then from here you can get to the back panel display and the little speaker that I have here. This is not a This is not a high-end virtual pinball machine by any man. It's, you know, you can only do so much with the small mini aspects of it. Some other things, you'll notice that here on the back, right there is one of the cooling fans that's keeping everything cool. There's another cooling fan underneath everything right here, and I've never had any temperature issues at all to date. Right here on the side, I got two USB ports, and the plug comes in from the bottom. And then on the very bottom of it, you know, I got these, I'm not sure if you can see, I got these like little screw-on type, you know, screw feet type thing. That actually gives me a little bit of space on the bottom for the fan to breathe. Basically, I set the buttons up real simple. It doesn't have anything anything over the top fancy. You know, you got these two buttons here, that's your flippers. These here I got set up for nudging. This is for exiting. This here is your coin. That's there to start the game, and that's your launch button for the ball. I also have a joystick right here on the top. My plan is to put some like main games on here, the vertical type main games like Pac-Man and stuff like that, maybe some Space Invaders or something like that. So I'll use the joystick for that. So I'll go ahead and basically the program that I'm using to run everything is Pinball Y. So Pinball Y, I actually just started using this. I previously had Pinball X on here, and then on my other builds I was using Pinball X. On my computer I was using Pinup Popper. Those are just the most common launchers. I found that Pinball Y by far is the easiest to use and the easiest to set up. So basically, go ahead and launch. I got just like a little cool little launch video. And there we go. We're into the game. First game here is Aliens. The background music will keep playing until basically until I select the game to play. So let's just go ahead and choose American Dad here, since it's the one that's right here. So basically, to launch the game, you hit the same button that's for coin, and then you have the option here. You have, you know, you got play, information, all the stuff. You can do filtering. There's a lot of features with Pinball Y. I may do just a Pinball Y video at some point in time. But I hit play, and it starts loading Pinball FX. And here's American Dad. So basically here you know, start the game. Exit. Well, I hate exit. No. But anyways, basically, and then I can go to. Let me show you. Let me find. As you can see, I got quite a few games. I actually have 130 games on this so far. This actually skips through it faster. The bottom button here. There we go. There we go. We'll play some Freedom. That's the same, this is the same pinball machine I have right behind here. So, there we go. And load it up. Go ahead, I'm going to add a coin. And there you go. And launch, and we're playing pinball. So as you can see, this little this little computer, it's no powerhouse by any stretch of the imagination, but it plays it plays these games actually pretty good. The buttons are actually pretty responsive. I have run into some tables with Visual Pinball X that just won't run on this this computer. The computer is just underpowered. I did run, in case you're curious, I did run the pass mark on it, and this thing only came in with pass mark score, benchmark score of 218, which is not very powerful. One of my things I thought about doing was I actually thought about putting a more powerful computer in there, and I actually have room to where I can put a bigger screen in here if I wanted, but I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to put that kind of money into this. It's just not. If I'm going to do that, I'll build me a big table or something like that, a big machine. So that's pretty much it. And then so basically, when you're in the game, you hit the button here on the top. It exits, and you're back to Pinball Y. And like I said, you got two buttons. You go through slow, or you can jump through pages. And as you can see, I got everything set up. I got I didn't do videos for the so while Pinball Y can record videos, I didn't do videos for anything, mainly because the machine's not, first off, the machine doesn't have a very big drive. It's only got like 125 gig SSD in it. And the other reason is because it's just not very powerful enough. So, but that's it. There we go. And then to exit the system, you hit the red button here on the top. I can choose either to power the machine completely off, or I can just exit Pinball Y. Hit the green button here to end. That's it. And we're back to the Windows screen. So this was a lot of fun to build. You know, I ran into quite a few challenges. The first challenge I had was the buttons that I originally had. They actually had switches like on the back side of it, and they were actually longer to where I actually couldn't use these two top buttons. So I had to find some shorter ones to actually put in there. That was the first challenge I ran into that I had to figure out a solution for. The other challenge, as you can imagine, so basically while this is your computer, the computer, and that's, you know, it doesn't have, but there's still a lot of, there's like, you know, the power supply for the computer and a lot of other like little cables, adapters and all that. And I only have basically this short little area back here that have to shove all that stuff in, as well as that fan and everything. So it's pretty crammed in there, pretty tight. So I had to figure out a way to make that work. The other problem I had was I didn't realize this when I was building it, but the audio jack for the laptop is on this side, and you can't get to the audio jack from that side. So I had to buy this like little USB dongle that I plugged into the back to where I can plug in that little laptop speaker. It's not, like I said, it's not like a great sound, but it's better than the laptop sound, which was barely audible. And that's it. So pretty much the build, it's done. The only thing I'm going to do from here on is I'm going to add some tables and ones that I like and enjoy, and I'm just going to play the heck out of it. And if I get sick of it and wanted something else, I'll just build something else. So that's it. Thanks for watching.